I'm making this video because I wasn't able to find a publicated solution or the correct answer to my question when it comes to setting up the Playbook tab as the first tab. So I want to show how I got that set up. And what I mean exactly is what I'm showing in this video, where in a custom workspace for a custom table, I have the Playbook tab showing first, and then it shows that card first, right? So a use case for something like this would be, you have a large intake record, or the customer's looking for something more uh, specific in terms of the user experience. So what I've put together are a high level overview on what I had to do to get something like this working. Uh, and a lot of it is based off the Playbook Experience Demo plugin. So that's absolutely required for what we're going to do here. So basically, let's just go over the setup. So in your custom app on your custom table, you want to set up a new view and have fields in that view. You need to set up a new process definition, which we can set up through the process automation designer. Um, you need to set up a record generator, then set up a UX screen with these three references being our focus, then create a new screen collection record, um, a new app route. Make sure you have the correct references here. Can be very tricky sometimes. Create a new page definition, and then finally create a condition for the um, new screen. So one thing to mention, I'm not sure why, but this is where the UX screens live, right? And essentially any table with the UX precursor or prefix is related to the user experience and UI builder. Um, for some reason, there's no menu access to this, so you have to navigate to it directly, which is interesting. So I just want to put that out there. So if you type in, screen on here, you're not going to see it, right? You're only going to see platform related items. Um, and I'm confirming that here through the modules table where it lists all the modules that you would see in the app menu navigator here. So, anyways, let's go ahead and create an app. And I like to do that through Studio just because old habits die hard. Let's go ahead and create an application here. And we'll call it a video example, right? Yeah, that's fine. And then we're going to need this name. So let's go ahead and just copy paste that somewhere here. All right. And then we'll just continue here. All right. And so when we get back to the platform side, we'll be brought into our scope. We will be brought into our scope. Here we go. Might have to refresh it sometimes. So, so the big thing here is we want to make sure that we create a table. We could do this through Studio as well, but I think a lot of more people are familiar with the platform side. But I prefer Studio personally, but let's go ahead and just do it here since we're already here. So let's make a new table for our application. We'll call it test table. It's fine. All right, we'll just save it. Gotta make this bigger. And then let's make some custom fields. We'll just make two custom fields. Test one. Test one is fine. String. We're just gonna do two here. So we have two. Then make sure we have a length here. Great. All right, let's go ahead and save. Make sure they saved here. All right, so we have our two fields. Great. So now we need to go into the form view, and you could do this. You could do it through different ways. You could do sys UI view and create a new view and go through that way, but it's much easier to go directly to the table form and just do it there. So uh, you go to configure, go to form layout. Let's go ahead and create a new view. We'll call it Playbook view because essentially what this will do is define the first card that's shown. And we'll just show the first field on the first card. All right, so now that we have a new view, let's go ahead and just close this window out. Now that we have a new view, let's go ahead and set up a process definition. So let me go ahead and pull up the process automation designer. So I'm also pretty sure this is a plugin dependent module, so make sure you have the process automation designer plugin installed. The licensing is related to the App Engine Studio. And as they always say, talk to your account manager before installing anything. So let's go ahead and create a new process. And we'll just call this example. This is fine. All right. And we'll just say, hey, every time a record's created. And then we just put our table, which I already forgot the name of. I hope it's example. I don't think it is. Make a test. I can't recall the name of the table I just made. So, oh, it's at the top too. All right, test table. Okay, test table. So let's. I have two of them. So hopefully that's the right one. We'll find out shortly. Great. In the process definition that we're creating, we have to make sure we have at least one lane. So we'll call it test lane. Not a big deal. And then we'll just do one instruction, just so you guys can see the setup here. This is the second card. So again, what will happen is the playbook, when it's set up as a first tab, it'll have its own card first, and that will be determined by the view. It's just a card with fields in it. And then whatever your first card in your process definition is, will be the second card. So let's go ahead and activate our process definition here. All right, we're good to go. So the next step is creating a record generator. So let's go in here on the platform side and create a new record generator. Right, and so hopefully it gives me the right. Might have the wrong test table on the other one. All right, so we want to go ahead and make sure we have the right table, the right process definition, which was that record we just made in the automation designer. And then this will be the label on the first card. It doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it whatever you like. First card, we'll call it in our example here. And then we want to make sure that we select the view that we set up earlier for our custom table. All right, great. So let's continue from here on to the next step, which will be to set up a new UX screen. All right, so again, this table isn't available, at least initially, out of box from the application navigator. You have to directly navigate to the screen. And you know what? Before we go ahead and do that, we want to make sure that we have a custom workspace that we are using. So we can just do that through the UI builder. There's different ways to do it, but this is probably the most intuitive and most common way it'll be done. So let's go ahead and set up our workspace. All right, so we'll go ahead and create a new experience here at the top right. And this isn't a video about how to set this up, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But basically, you just have the custom workspace. We'll call it example video. We don't need a page. We do need the workspace app shell. Example video is what we'll call our path here. And the other item that we critically need is this admin panel, otherwise known as the app configuration file. So let's go ahead and create a new one. We'll call it example video. Great, great, great. So let's go ahead and submit this. And then if we go back into the UI builder, we'll see our new workspace. So we'll actually create a new, we'll just actually create a record page. And one thing to mention when you're creating, type today, a page from a template, for whatever reason, it doesn't copy over the page parameters, so we have to add those back in there. Not sure why. It might be a bug. Hopefully it gets fixed in San Diego, but we'll see what happens. They're pretty good about that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get our table name for the test value, and then -1 is always the sysid of a new record. Great, so we have our details tab, and let's open it up for just the sake of showing it. Make sure everything is good to go. Kind of strange. Oh, see, actually, you can see it right here. The page parameters are acting strange. Give me 1 second. All right, so we are actually referencing the application name, not the table name. So let's go ahead and actually get that correct value in there. We'll go ahead and close this out. Okay, so these are the test fields, or the fields from our custom table, right? And you'll notice the details tab is showing up first. And we need the playbook to show up first. So we have our workspace. We'll just leave this open. And we can close out UI Builder, since that will be the end of our interaction with it for the remainder of the video, right? We have our workspace set up. So let's go to the UX screen. Again, no module for it. Strange choice. But what we'll be doing is essentially copying the Playbook screen that we get from the Playbook Workspace demo. And let's go ahead and go in there and show you what I'm looking at here. So it really is comprised of a lot of elements, but the ones we'll be focused on are the screen collection, the page definition, app configuration, and this screen condition. So let's go ahead and click Insert and Stay, and that will be what we'll be doing. Right? So good. So it's going to give you that error message, which is fine. We know it's now in the right scope. So let's set up a new collection record. And so the way I like to do this, so I stay on the same page, is preview the record and then hit the scroll button to open. Probably just hit right click and have a new tab as well. And so again, I like to just do insert and stay. So we're creating a new screen collection record. And we'll just call it example video. It's fine. Right? And then we'll save, right? It's just supposed to be a holder here. And now when we go to look, we'll see our screen collection. which is great. So the next step, same thing. So preview the record, open the new record, hit the open record with a tab. You don't have to do it this way. This is just the way I prefer to do it. Insert and stay. And again, we don't have to do much to this record besides just make it its own name, which is fine. All right, so we'll go ahead and close that, and then we'll reference it here. So we have two things that we need. And then critically, we also need to look for the correct app config. I think I called it example. And the app config is that item that we pull from the new experience, the workspace, right? So great. So let's confirm after we save that we have our correct app configuration, our page definition, and our screen collection. And it looks like it is all there. All right, so our next step is to update the screen collection record, right? Which we'll do from here. And this time we can just open up the record directly. And the only thing we need to really do here is create a new app root. And we could just call it Playbook, which is fine. We'll just call it Playbook. And we want to make sure we have the correct reference and screen collection, app configuration, parent macro component, and actually the parent macro component composition element ID, which is a very long-winded way of wording that. But basically, we're going to find our app config. We're going to use record page tabs as our macro component. And then here's the important part. And this is basically because of how the playbook was made, the original one. We're going to reference this key here. And this key, I'll show you exactly where it is so you don't have to copy it from the video. Let's go back to the screens real quick so you can see where this came from. This comes from the original playbook app root. So we'll go here and, well, that's unfortunate. We'll just go into the scope for just so we can navigate to where I need to go. And then we're going to go to the, so this is the app root for the original playbook screen collection. And this is the reference it makes. So if you need to get here, if you need to get this value, you'll have to navigate there. So again, sysux screen, you type in playbook, you pull up the playbook, which has this app configuration. You can go here, click edit inside the scope, preview the record, open the record, click on the app root tab, go into the app root, and then get the value from here. So easy, right? So let's go back into our screen collection for our app. So we have our app root, we have our screen, screen collection, page definition. Great. And actually, you'll see here it's related to the, I believe it's related to the app mappings, but let's not speculate. The last piece that we need to do is set up the screen condition. And we're going to copy the code directly from the original playbook screen for this. So this is at the bottom in the related list. I'll just kind of slow it down over here. You click on the UX screen condition, click on the record, and then copy the script. And you'll notice that scripted condition is true. So going back into our screen, the original, we'll make a new screen condition, pop the script back into here, make sure to select screen condition, and make sure to enter the correct table, which again, I've forgotten the name of. Actually, I could just pull it from here. All right, and so we're just going to update the code. Just reduce, take out the or statement and just reference our table name here, just like this. Submit, and we should be good to go. So right now you'll see, right, we have based on the page parameters, we have a new record with sysid -1 for our table. So if we refresh this, the playbook should show up. And there we go. Playbook is there as the first tab. So we'll just do test one. There we go. And it'll create this new record. Right. The details. Well, for some reason, because we're testing it, it does this strange little thing here. But this is how you get the playbook to show up as the first tab. As simple as that. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to get back to you as much as I can. And I hope this helps someone out there. It took me a while to get to this point. So, everyone have an awesome day. Thanks.